Hey guys, so today is the 25th of March 2023, and this is my fourth try with Qatar Airways. 2 times I made it to final interview, and hopefully I will make it again this time. I'm 25 years old, but obviously there was a holdup because of COVID. So I'm gonna try my luck again, and hopefully, this is the day. But guess what? I have a cold sore. Right? Today of all days, really. I have a cold sore, and it is raining outside. It's pouring. I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa. It is pouring outside, and my meet and greet is scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon. So hopefully when I come back with an update, it will be good news. So this is how I looked right before the meet and greet. And yeah, it looks really tight, all these things that I'm wearing, but in person it looks so much better. And then I just did a video with the song that I like, just for some motivation.
Sorry, no, you're not in the video. This other girl came.
And this is the invitation for the next day. I was really happy because a lot of people didn't get it. So yeah, let me update you guys. Hey guys, I'm back from my assessment day. Not my assessment day, my open day, my meet and greet in Johannesburg, and my time slots was 2:30. I'm only finishing now at 5:30, and only because I've done this so many times that I know that at the end of the day it's a competition, so you need to just get what you want. They told us, okay, we're just going to deal with the 12 o'clocks, 1 o'clocks, and 1:30, and then anyone after 2 will just form a line and follow, right? So you can be seated for now. So we sat for like a good 1.5 hours, and then I realized, okay, the line is almost finishing. Not really, actually, but it was like halfway through, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if I wait till the end of that line, I'm gonna have to race in these heels and start a new line, like connect a new line. And probably the recruiters think that we're smart enough to just create the line on our own. So let me just stand up whilst the 1 o'clocks and 12 o'clocks are still standing. Let me just queue right behind them, right? So I tell these 2 girls that I met, they were so nice. Oh my gosh, they were so nice. If y'all remember me, hey y'all, I'm probably in Doha now, releasing this video. We were all supposed to make it, but you know what? It wasn't their time, and I know that they will make it eventually. And so we just formed another line right behind the 1 o'clocks, and we helped ourselves, because let me tell you, I'm done now at 5:30. We are done. The other people are still in the queue because they decided to sit themselves down and wait for someone to be like, okay, now you can stand and form the queue for the 2 o'clocks. No, you need to take things into your own hands. End of the day, yes, it's about customer service and whatever, but it's a competition. Okay, thank you. So oh, and then I just got a message actually now from one of the girls that I was chilling with. She's so nice. And then so I'm just gonna make a video now so I remember everything that happened. So we were sitting there for the longest time, not even gonna talk. So every now and again I had to go and check my makeup because I really felt like I overdid it. But I even felt like this in the morning, just because my foundation was just not working. Like the devil was working like overtime today because everything was just going south. My CV was crumpled. I asked my sister to print out 2 CVs. She only printed one. Like everything was just a mess, right? So by the time I get to the front, my feet are like paining. So I took off my shoes for a bit. And what I did was, you know how you walk in and you're about to see the recruiter? I didn't carry a bag or anything. I put it down there on the table before I go in. And I just took my CV and my copy of my invitation and a passport copy photo. And I just went in there, chin up, shoulders back, straight back, and I walked in. I wasn't smiling like an idiot like the whole time. You know, I was just like, hi, how are you? I'm good, how are you? And she was very fast, but I made sure that she heard me say, I'm good, thank you, how are you? And she's like, I'm good. And I was like, this is my CV, this is my invitation, and here's my picture. And she's like, okay, cool. Well, how do you say your name? So I said, Minentle, like that, literally, like so that she can see that I wasn't about to be like, oh, but you can say it however you know. It's Minentle, and I don't even know, but I realized that she like stood for a second. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she said to me, so how old are you, Minentle? And I said, I'm 25 years old. I just turned 25 a few weeks ago. And she cut me before I said a few weeks ago, but I didn't think anything of it. I just put my hands to the side and I wasn't talking with my hands like this, okay? And then she's like, so where do you work? And I said, well, I work as a waitress in a 5-star Vietnamese restaurant here in Joburg. And I just pointed out, which I felt like was wrong because I don't want to be talking with my hands. But I think that was the only time when I used hand gestures. So I was like, here in Joburg, it's a 5-star Vietnamese restaurant. That's what I've been working at. And before that, I was working in retail. And she just like stopped, paused for a second. She's like, okay, just go do the reach test for me. And then I asked on purpose, I know you have to take off your shoes, but I was like, of course, should I take off my shoes for it? And then she said, yes, please. And then I went and I was smiling, walking up straight, took off my shoes. Like I really made sure everything was clean. Like everything that I did was really clean. Took off my shoes, pulled my skirt down, just adjusted my blazer so that I can use my hand. And I don't know if I can, it's like the top, literally it was so hard for me to reach, but I didn't obviously show any sign of like hardship or anything like that. And I was like, there you go. And then she's like, thank you very much, that's good. So I came back with my shoes, and when I was coming back, she wrote my number on my invitation and my name, and she's like, say your name again. I was like, Minentle. I guess it was an inside joke now. And then she wrote my name and I got an invitation for the assessment day, which is Monday. So today's Saturday. So I am going to update you guys again on Monday. Oh, and the other girls that I was with, shame, the one girl actually, she made it all the way to the final interview for Emirates literally last month. And then they rejected her. I don't know why, but she says she got the golden call, but she missed it. And then after that, she just immediately got a rejection mail. And then this other girl, it was her first time applying, but she's 24 years old. She spoke with her hands a lot. So I was just thinking maybe you shouldn't have done that. And she had a wig on. And I felt like, okay, maybe if you do your natural hair, like I don't have long hair. This is how long my hair is. But I use gel to just like obviously sleek it down. So I said, maybe next time you could try to do that. And like, I saw how sad it is, but I know exactly how they feel. Like, I absolutely know how they feel because I've been in their shoes before. So I'm really just hoping for the best. There were so many people. There was like more than 1,000 people. I'm not even joking with you. So many people. And then just a lot of people wearing weird things that you would think, like, seriously, if this is your one shot. And some people look like over the age of 25. So you'd think, if you're over the age of 25, you would think that you would take it a bit more seriously because you know that your years are, getting up there and your chances of getting in are like getting down here. But no, they just rocked up with whatever they wanted to rock up with. People wearing like they cut their hair. Like, obviously, they say no, it's not about the hair. Some flight attendants have wigs, but do they have the wigs when they first apply? That's the question. Or do they wear them once they get comfortable in Doha? No. Look at me talking like I'm a whole flight. Anyways, child. So yeah, now I'm back and I have to wait for Monday. But I'm glad because I'm just gonna wash now these clothes, and my skirts just ripped at the back, but thank God it was at the back and they couldn't really see anything. So I told my boyfriend and told my best friend, and they're really happy for me, even though I have to now spend more money to just stay here because I don't live here. So, but anyways, I guess it's worth it, and it will be worth it in the end, and I will update you guys on Monday. Good morning. It's the 27th of March 2023, and it is the day of my assessment day with Qatar Airways. Wish me luck. I will update you guys. It's so cold and we can't wear blazers today, but I'm actually gonna take it because I don't do well with cold. So yeah, I will update you guys on how it goes later on after today. Wish me luck. Hey guys. So I was supposed to vlog yesterday, which I didn't. I even fell asleep with like my makeup on and stuff because I was just so tired. So this is the day after the assessment day. So it's the 28th. 27th was my assessment day. So I got up at 4:30 in the morning, did my makeup because we had to be there at 8. So if we have to be there at 8, obviously it means we have to be there at 7:30. So I got up, had quite a bit of time because I woke up early, but I slept at like 1 o'clock the previous night, so I was kind of really tired. But anyways, I woke up, did my makeup, and obviously because it was still dark, I was like one shade lighter than I actually am. My foundation was just really not doing it. But anyways, by the time I had to fix it, it was too late. So I just went and just, put it all out to the universe that whatever happens, happens, right? So we get there, it's quite a lot of us. And I'm told that we were split into like 2 groups because I'm pretty sure there was like 1,000 of us. So there was a group that actually went the day before for their assessment day, and we are now doing ours today, which was yesterday. So I get there, try to talk to people. Hi, how are you? And I think I got there at like 7:45. Yeah, and everyone is still sitting outside. There were a lot of girls. I think there were like 5 guys. There was 1 white guy and the other 4 were black guys, and then there were a lot of white girls, but there were also a lot of black girls and also a lot of Asians or Indians. Yeah, anyways, so we get there and then they tell us, okay, please make a line. Number 1 to 48 is in this room, and number 48 to 95 or 97, I can't remember, in the other room. So there was about, I could say, just roughly 100 of us, right? And then so I was number 13, so we went there, and they said, please take out your invites. Did your girl not forget her invites? I actually, in the morning, I was like, I don't need this. They're probably just gonna ask like for your name and your number, right? Because they've shortlisted just a few people. Wrong. I get there and I realize, fuck, okay, they need our invites. So I just said, okay, everyone please just finish, so I'll stand at the back of the line so that I can explain, because I don't want to hold up the line explaining why I forgot my invite. So everyone went forward and everyone tried to everyone was trying to act like so nice, you know, because the recruiters were watching and they were like, no, it's okay, you can go in front. And I'm like, no, I want to stay in the back because I have something to say. Okay, so anyways, I ended up falling behind. And then I get to the recruiter and I'm like, ma'am, I am so sorry, I forgot my invitation in the Uber. But I didn't obviously forget in the Uber, I just left it at home. And then she's like, okay, do you have some kind of identification? And then I take out my driver's license and she said, but this only has your initial. I need something that has like your full name. Luckily I had my ID as well, so I gave her my identity document and she was like, okay, cool, no problem. Do you have a picture of the invitation? Luckily I sent a picture to my boyfriend, so I was going through my chats with my boyfriend and then I had to show her that, oh, there's the invitation, right? So she was like, okay, cool, thank you very much, have a seat. And there were a few people that came a bit late, you know, so every time they walked in they would just say, okay, quickly go sign up, quickly get your sticker. And on our sticker we had to write our applicant ID. I don't know if I still have the sticker with me. It's here somewhere. Okay, well, anyways, oh, there it is. Gosh, it's so messy here. So this was a sticker they gave us. Ta-da! So it has your number for the day, and then you just write your applicant ID, and then your name. They write your name for you, right? So they gave us the stickers, told us to write our applicant IDs and then have a seat whilst we wait for everyone. Now we were supposed to be there at 8, so it was around like 10 past 8 when we were just waiting for everyone. And then they decided, okay, they're just going to start. So they did a whole presentation about Qatar and living in Doha, and things that you can and can't do, like you can't smoke, and rooms are, you know, you're not allowed to share rooms with like the opposite gender, and you know, your curfew during your training is until 11, but after training it's like until 4 or something like that. And just like sort of just selling the dream, you know. And they were telling us, we don't have a capped number of people that we should take. If all of you are good, we're going to take all of you. Where have I heard that before? Obviously they're lying. And then they said, yeah, so everyone just relax, and we're going to start with the English test. So it was now about 10 to 9, like 8:54, and they were handing out the English test, and they were like, oh, and then this girl walked in and she was like super late, so she was like an hour late, and then the recruiter just pulled her to the side and was like talking to her, and then the recruiter came back on her own. So obviously she told the girl, sorry ma'am, like we're not about that life, you just got to go back home. Which is kind of understandable, because I mean, if you're late for a flight, what must happen, you know? So yeah, I get why they sent her home, because she was extremely late. And on that day everyone was really dressed so smart, so elegantly, so professional. There were like those two people that were just like outliers. Like this guy was just wearing like a sweater, and then some like chinos. It was just really not professional. And there was a guy sitting next to me who had done this before. He made it to like the final interview and whatever, and he was wearing a full-on suit. He looked really nice. He just had a lot of acne where you shave, you know, when guys shave and then there's a bit of pimples. So he had a lot of those, but they were like scarring his face a bit. So, but he had made it before, as he was telling, because he told me like literally everything that would happen. And I was also just sharing my experience. And then so we wrote the English test, and they said we have to shade in the correct answer. They said we have 20 minutes, and there was part 1, part 2, part 3, and they're all like comprehensions, so you have to read and then answer from the paragraphs. And then one of them is just like language, like if you are a flight attendant and you encounter a lady who is sitting in your seat, and you are trying to explain to her like so it was like fill in the blanks, like excuse me ma'am, I blank that you are sitting in my seat. It's blank like you are confused, for example. So it obviously, excuse me, ma'am, I believe you are sitting in my seat. It seems you are a bit confused. So they were like, you could choose, there's only one correct answer. You could choose A, B, or C. Firstly, maybe the first one says, I believe you're sitting in my seat, and it seems, so it was believe and seems. Question answer A, and then B was seemingly believer, some stupid thing like that. So obviously you have to choose the one that fits grammatically correct into that sentence. So there were about like 5 of those, and then 3 of the comprehension. So what wasted a lot of time for me was the shading. And I know that people say no, start with part C first because that takes the longest amount of time. No, start with what you are seeing first, honestly. Like, that's my advice, because at least you've read, and you like, because if you're gonna, that's also time that you're spending looking for which one looks like it's the quickest one and which one looks like it's the easiest. No, just do what's in front of you. They give you 20 minutes because they've obviously tested the tests, and you should be able to finish in 20 minutes, of which some people didn't, of course. But I honestly believe it's because of the shading, because the block is quite big and you need to color it in, and you can't just like half shade it or whatever. So yeah. So what the other guys said after the test, he was like, what I did was just put a dot on the correct one and then move along, and then once I'm done with my whole test, then I fully shade in all the dots that I made. So I was like, okay, that's actually a good idea. I didn't think of that, but okay. And then the last section was a bit hard for me because it just said which sentence is correct, but they were like all of them seemed correct, so I know definitely that I got something wrong in that last section. So that's how I know that you don't have to score a total. You just probably have to get like 70% or 80%. It's not that deep. And I also know that because when we left for them to mark our test, we came back, they only made a cut of like 9 to 10 people. It wasn't that much. So there was still about 80 of us, 70 to 80. So it really wasn't that deep. And then after that, we came back in. They called the numbers of the people who were cut, and they said, please follow the recruiter into the other room and she'll tell you what happens next. So obviously that means you are cut. And then after that, we came back in, so we're relieved, and they said, okay, so it means you guys have made it to the next round. And everyone was screaming, wow! And I'm just like, the fact that we still have 2 more rounds after this, but okay, guys, scream if you want to scream. Anyways, I'm not trying to like sound better, but I've done this so many times that I know that don't celebrate too early, So after that, they said, okay, just form a line from the smallest number to the biggest number, and now we're going to do SCAR declaration and identification and whatever, and the reach test. So they said to us, this is because we work in aviation. It's obviously a very dangerous environment, and we want you guys to like, if something happens, God forbid, we need to identify you. So if you've got like a birthmark, or if you've got a scratch, or your burns with a hair iron or something like, or you've got permanent makeup, that's what we'll use to identify you. Now, sir, if you are in a plane crash or something happens and the plane burns, are they gonna be able to use that one scar to identify you? I do not think so. No, they won't. So anyways, everyone believed it, and they were like, yeah, no, I'm gonna declare everything because they just said it's for identification purposes, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, guys, okay. I do have a birthmark that, unfortunately, even if I tried to conceal it, they would just catch me out on it. So I just decided, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just gonna disclose it. So we went in, number 1 went in, a few other girls went in, this one girl went in. They make you reach, and then you tell them, do you have scars, tattoos, and blah blah blah. And this one girl had a friend that I made had a burn mark that looked like a birthmark because it was really fading away. So it was just a little bit darker, but honestly, you couldn't see it unless you were really looking. But now they have lights like shining onto your face. So they say like, do you have any marks on your face that you need to declare? And then show us your fingernails, show us your hands, show us your nails. And this girl had a mark like right right over here. Oh gosh, sorry. Anyways, she had a mark there on her hand, and they were like, can you conceal it? And she was like, oh, they said, is it concealed? And she was like, no, it's not concealed. And they were like, okay, cool, thank you very much, please tell the next person to come in. Then the next girl went in. She said she had a birthmark on her leg, and they asked her to take off her stockings because they couldn't see it in the stockings. And then she went to the bathroom, removed it, came back and showed them. So she was really worried about that. And then they also said, okay, bring your face closer. And she said she had no marks on her face, but they saw something that she didn't even know she had. And then they said, here, please take this wet wipe and wipe off your makeup. So she had just like honestly, it's such a small mark that like you can't even see it, right? So yeah, and that happened. And then it was my turn, and then they asked me, do you have any marks on your face? So I just got close up to them. I said, I don't believe I have any marks on my face, but you're welcome to just have a closer look. This is exactly what I said. And then I did the reach test first actually, and I was able to reach, but I'm a bit short, so my shirt like untucked completely. So I had to like fiddle and tuck it in again, and then I sat down, and then they said, okay, do you have anything that you need to declare to us? And they look you straight in the eye. I'm pretty sure they wanted to catch you out on a lie, because when you are nervous, you are going to like be apparent that you are lying. So they said, then they asked me, and I said, yeah, I actually do have a birthmark. There it is. Oh, it's quite bright actually in the sun. But this is pretty much how it looks like. So I have this birthmark on my arm. I actually don't think it's a big deal. It looks like a bigger deal than it actually is, just because of the sun. Okay, anyways, child, I'll attach photos in this video of my birthmark, the photos that if I make it, I'm gonna use to send them, because when they ask for additional scar photos. So I declared that, and then they said, okay, so it's about 2 centimeter island shaped birthmark on the inner forearms. And then they said, just stand like you normally would. So I stood like I normally would. And they were like, okay, so you can't see it from the front. And then they said, turn around. So I turned around, and they said, okay, you also can't see it from the back. So it's like tucked in, like in between the thigh and the arm. So they were like, okay, no, that's fine. And I said, okay, like, are we finished? And then they said, yeah, no, you can go. And I said, thank you very much. And I just stood up, pulled my skirt down, and walked gracefully with a smile, and I left. And after that, there were girls with tattoos that concealed it. There was this girl who had a tattoo under her watch. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to be bringing anyone down during the day. I would just be like, but you know what, they're not like, it doesn't affect the way you do your job. That was me the whole time, knowing very well that they're not going to take anyone with a tattoo. Anyways, so yeah, we did that, and then after that it was just waiting. So we did that for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. So it took that long because there was actually a lot of people declaring stuff, and I do have a few marks on my legs, but that's just like a few bruises that I believe are gonna fade by the time I get the call, if I do get the call. And I don't think I should give them any reason to like just reject me. Seemingly they didn't ask me to take off my stockings, and I don't think they'll ask me to take them off later on, so we'll see. But then after that we were just waiting, and everyone is just talking about all the things they've heard, like, oh, you're not allowed to have this and blah blah blah. And this one girl that I was with, she had on a wig. She was literally the only one with a wig, but she did it so nicely that it was like, it's a frontal wig, so you can't really see. But I think once they put her under those lights, they could read. That's the same girl they asked about the mark, if it's concealed or not. But I think once you put it under the lights, you can see that, okay, it's not your real hair. And underneath she has very short hair like me, but it's a bit shorter than mine. So I don't know if that had anything to do with them rejecting her. But then they called out numbers of people who made it or not. And then they called numbers. They called number 1, number 7, number 16, number 40, number 16, number 21, number 27, number 28, number 29. And you know, when you hear numbers consecutively like that and you are the next one, you honestly believe they're not gonna call your name. And they said number 30. And in my head, I had already told myself, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try again. It's okay. I didn't feel like they liked me. It's fine. You know, I'm not going to let this bring me down. I know it sucks so much to get rejected, but whatever happens, happens. Literally in my head. That's all I was just playing through in my head. And when I heard number 30, I was like, that's me. That is me. And I know I sound a bit dramatic, but that anxiety that you feel, that suspense, it feels like the longest wait in your life. And you just gotta wait. There's nothing you can do about it. And before they say your number, you still have that little bit of hope. And then when they don't, it's like your whole... I saw people crying. I saw like 10 people immediately walking up to the recruiter and saying, please explain to me why you didn't choose me. Please read the numbers again. I think mine was... I don't know if you called mine or not. I just can't believe it because I did everything that I could. Please tell me what you didn't like. But I know the feeling. I know you want to know exactly. And then they had to like literally announce, we can't give you guys feedback. We're really sorry. We're running out of time also, but we can't give you feedback. It's not allowed. And then yeah, so I don't think they should have made the SCAR thing, the SCAR declaration, a whole elimination process, because we didn't even get to read. You know how they say they give you a little card and you say they give you a random word and you have to speak about it? We didn't do that during the SCAR declaration, which makes people think that they were declined because of their scars and birthmarks, right? So yeah, that's just a bit more sad because there's nothing you can do about like the way you're born and how you were hurt as a child and things like that. So I think that if we did the whole random word thing, it would have been a bit better for people to understand that maybe my speech wasn't great, or you know. So it's really hard. I completely understand. But also I'm saying like this now to people who have been asking, look at this, look how visible this is. And I know people say like, but it's nothing, it's so small. Sorry about that, guys. It's not nothing, it's not small, it's big. In the Qatar world, in Qatar Airways, this is big and it's visible. So if I could pass that stage with this humongous thing on my arm, then honestly, just have all the confidence in the world when you are declaring that birthmark or scar that you are considering concealing. Because for me, even I felt like that girl with tattoos, like, why would you try to conceal the tattoos? It's not because you're trying to show us that they are concealable. It's because you're trying to hide them. That's how I felt, no matter how good her intentions were. So I just feel like disclose what is visible and don't disclose what is not. I don't know, just don't. I also did disclose though a scar here, just because I wanted to sort of move the attention away from this thing. I just wanted to be like, okay, you know what, and seem very honest, because I know that the scar is like in my thigh, is on my thigh, so it wouldn't matter anyways. So I just felt like it would show them how insignificant this is compared to like, oh, you know, I don't know, but I think my approach went okay because I made it. And that's all I really wanted because I've traveled so far. So after that, there were about 31 of us left, and we sat there and they told us, okay, you're not done yet. Your interview will be on the 29th, which was 2 days from that day. So we filled in some forms. We filled in some SCAR declaration forms, we filled in pre-medical forms, we filled in cabin crew application form, and they gave them to us to take home. I don't think I can show you guys because they said we're not allowed to take pictures of them. Yeah, I will take pictures of them, and then when I don't work for Qatar anymore, I will show you guys how they look like. But they're not really important. It's just like telling us your email address, your previous employment, any sicknesses that you have, and please show us where the scar is that you declared, and the size and the shape and why you have it. So yeah, so that's what happened. And then they gave us time slots for our interviews. Mine is at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I can't wait. It's tomorrow, 10 o'clock. And after that, I'm going to go back home finally. Finally. So we made a group chat or whatever. Everyone is so eager to leave, but I was that girl that was just getting everyone's number because I know that the wait's on your own. But also these WhatsApp groups are kind of dangerous because they make you feel so bad. Everyone hears something, even if it's not true, they'll put it there and say, "Oh, I heard that people got rejected. I heard that so someone posted, I heard they're gonna ask us about that random word during the final interview." And I'm like, but it's fine. You've already signed these forms, right? And they trust themselves enough to not do the whole random word test the previous day because they feel like the candidates that they've chosen are well spoken anyways. I know it's to test your vocabulary and to test your on the spot thinking, but do you really think that that one word can determine whether or not you get the job? I don't know. I think maybe whatever happens should have happened because you've made it so far for you to just be rejected for that one word. So I'm not even worried. Whatever word I get, even if I stutter on it, I know I won't lose the opportunity because of that word. It will be because of something else. And you have to disclose whether or not you've applied with Qatar before. I know this is a tricky one because sometimes you don't want to say, yes, I have. I've applied like 5 times. So I'm going to say I applied once, even though I've made it to the final interview before twice. I'm going to say I applied once because honestly, I can't even remember to what stage I made it the first time. So, yeah. And hopefully, being honest, I'm just going to keep on going on this bandwagon of being honest and see where it takes me. So wish me luck again. It's so crazy how I say like wish me luck, see you in the next video, and I go with this thing of thinking like, oh, there's not gonna be a next video. What are you talking about? Like, but here I am recording that next video, and they are gonna email us about a week after the final interview. It's usually like 48 hours to say whether or not you should upload your blue background photos or you are rejected. So I'm honestly so grateful, and literally only 2 people know, okay, and my sister, because I'm in her space now. She's been wondering when I'm leaving, but they keep postponing like the assessment days and the interviews and whatever. So I'm grateful that she allowed me to stay here, and I'm grateful to my boyfriend because like he's the one who's been helping me financially just stay here longer, like in terms of like food and transport and stuff. And my friend who's just been giving me all the support in the world. She was supposed to be here too, but she's not, girl. But she's getting married, so I guess that's also very exciting. And I'm just feeling so much warmth, and I'm literally still on this bandwagon of whatever happens, even though it may not be for the best, but it would have happened, and there's nothing I can do to change it. So I'm just gonna go in. I've watched a few videos of the final interview. I don't like to prepare because I'm trying to go there with all honesty, and I know the questions they're gonna ask about my previous work experience, and I just have to sort of like recollect actual events that happened. So yeah. Yeah, guys, it's kind of like unbelievable. You think there were more than 1,000 people, and you are here. I saw this one girl on her YouTube video saying we were 10,000 people in Kenya. And it's true, there were photos of how many people. They even had to say, okay, just drop your CV in the box because we're not going to be able to see each and every one of you individually. And they called her from that CV in a box. So when it is your time, I guess it is your time. And if it's not, there's nothing you can do to change it other than keep on applying. Oh, and that guy that I was sitting next to who had made it before, he didn't make the one with acne on his beard. He didn't make it. I think they recognized him because he also said they didn't say anything, but he felt like they recognized him the way they were looking at him. So I guess they don't want you to keep coming. Just give it a few. If you've made it to that stage, just give it a few months before you go and reapply. So 6 months. And oh, and after the people that didn't make it after the open day and after the English test and after the SCAR declaration, you're still allowed to apply. They didn't say you have to wait for 6 months. So apply. Like, I don't know why you would waste your time. I feel old and I'm 25 and I wish I was 21 all the time, but I realized, like, you know. And there was also this girl who is Mrs. South Africa who was here. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. I don't see why they would reject her. She was showing me, like, she doesn't even have any marks. She just has like one mark on her arm, but it's not even like really visible. So I don't know. People say it doesn't, but I think age does play a role. I'm not saying people don't get hired, but I'm just saying use the opportunity whilst you're still young. Use it whilst you can, because yeah, you don't want anything to like be a reason why you get rejected. So yeah, guys, that's my story, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it's good news. Okay, bye. So this was me on my way back home from Johannesburg. I had my final interview and I took everyone's numbers so that we could create a group chat, and I'll update you guys when I get home. Hey guys, I'm so tired. I've just traveled like 4 hours from Johannesburg to Newcastle, and I had my final interview today. Sorry, I'm like not dressed. I'm just sleeping on the couch waiting for my boyfriend to come home. I had my final interview today, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Let me quickly just get this phone out of this. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. My makeup looks really bad right now, but it was popping in the morning. My hair's tied back. I think I looked really nice today. I mean, even this ombre lip was really nice in the morning. Not now, because I've just been sitting for like 4 hours. So my time slot was 10 o'clock, and I got there at 9:30, and there was just some girls sitting outside. Some had already gone in and some were waiting to go in, but we didn't have to go in like an order or anything. You just when the person in front of you is done, you go and do your interview. And when I got there, the one girl who had gone in already told me, oh, it's not so bad. It's really like 6 to 10 questions. They don't really ask a lot. So I said, okay, that's cool. And then the other girl went in, and she was asked, so she declared a birthmark on her neck. So she was asked to quickly go to the bathroom and try to cover it up with makeup. And they said, when you reach Doha, you're going to have to be able to just cover it up the whole time. Otherwise, you're going to be asked every day about it. That's literally what the recruiter said. So I think for her, it means she's going to get the email for her blue background pictures. So then it was my turn. I went in and they asked for my documents, and they asked me, okay, quickly show us your birthmark again, and where did you say your scar was? And then I showed them again, this is my birthmark. and then they had a look at it, but this time they had a thorough look at it. Like, it wasn't like the other day. They made me stand, they made me come closer, they touched it, they asked if I had makeup, and all of that stuff. I just got really scared actually today. That's why I'm not really as bubbly as I was in the previous clips. Yeah, and then after that, they asked me, so tell us, are you willing to serve alcohol? I said, yes, I do already serve alcohol where I work. I'm a waitress, by the way. I didn't say I'm a waitress, by the way. I'm telling you guys that I'm a waitress. And then after that, so when they ask the question, it sounds like they just want a yes or no answer, but trust me, they don't. They want you to elaborate until they cut you off. And them cutting you off doesn't mean you said something wrong. It just means they're like satisfied with your answer and they can move on to the next question. So I just said, yes, I'm comfortable with serving alcohol. I already serve it at my job. And then they said, do you think appearance and grooming and appearance is important? So I said, yes, I do think it's very important, especially because in my job, sometimes we have celebrities and politicians that we need to serve, and it makes them a bit more comfortable when you are clean and well groomed. So they cut me again and then moved on to the next question. And then they said, do you think what do you think about smiling? Hey guys, I just woke up now. I know I look like shit, but I'm actually doing this video like this so that the African girls can see that yes, it is possible to go with your hair being this short. But obviously, you can't tell that it's this short in the videos. So yeah. What was my last question? What was the last thing that I was saying? Okay, so then they asked, what do you think about smiling? I said, with a smile on my face, obviously, I said, I think smiling is important because it makes you so much more approachable. That's what I said. And then the next question, what was the next question? Then they said, are you an extrovert or an introvert? So I said, I think I'm an extrovert because I always find myself being the one to initiate conversations, whether in groups, of which I am. I wasn't even lying about that. Like, I am the one to like initiate ideas and conversations. And then they asked, do you think it's okay to borrow things from people? And when did you ever borrow something? So I said, yeah, I do think it's cool to borrow some things from people. I mean, I came here from home and I forgot to bring my black eyeliner. I bought a blue one instead, and I had to ask my sister to borrow me a black eyeliner, and I borrowed it and gave it back. So I think sometimes borrowing things is okay. And then they said, okay, what is more important to you, people, things, or ideas? So I honestly had to think about this one because I wasn't actually really prepared for it, even though I do remember them asking it. But I was like, I really like stood for like a good 3 seconds, and I was like, I think people are more important to me because they're what's permanent in your life. Like, things can always be replaced and ideas always change. So I think that people are what is most important. And then what was the last question? Oh, the other question was, okay, so you say you're able to borrow things. So from the person that you borrowed something, if they were stealing, would you report them or what would you do? And then I said, honestly, I would approach them and ask them why they're stealing, and then I would go and report them because I wouldn't know how to handle a situation where someone is stealing. So I know that the manager would know how to appropriately deal with it. And then they said, okay, thank you. And then after that, this is why I'm just so uneasy about my whole interview. After that, they're like, okay, so we're just going to ask you to take off your stockings so we can have a look at your lower legs. Child, why do you want to do that now? I have so many marks on my legs. I'm going to try to show you. So I have this mark on my thigh that I did declare the scar. I have this on my knee. Where is it? There. I've got so many other marks on my legs. No. But I mean, I was wearing stockings and I didn't declare them the previous day. So, you know. So I'm probably gonna get in trouble for posting this video, but anyways, so I had to go to the bathroom, scared as fuck, but I was just like, yeah, sure, no problem, let me go take off my stockings quickly. And then when I went to the bathroom, there was this other conference that was being held in the hotel, so the ladies' bathrooms were already full. So I was like, oh gosh, I have to wait in this long queue now. And then I went into the disabled people's bathrooms. I'm so sorry. God forgive me. And then I went with my makeup and I was trying to hide all these marks. But now, as I'm hiding them, I'm like, okay, cool. At least, like, you can still see their marks, but at least, like, they're not that visible now that I've covered them. Jokes on me, because the lighting in the bathroom is different from the lighting in that room. As I stepped like one leg out of the bathroom, I see like these patches of foundation on my legs, and I'm just like, no. So I just went back in, just removed everything except for like this one that didn't have a patch, and I tried to like blend it in so much. And then I was like, you know what? So then I just stood for like a second and I'm like, you know what? I can't change myself. These marks are from like when I had chicken pox, and my skin is not like great because it takes a very long time for me to heal. In fact, if I do heal at all. So these marks are permanent and they're not going anywhere. Like 10 years from now, they'll still be there. So, you know what? You made it this far, Minentle. Just go in and, you know, if it's yours, it's yours. So I go in. Immediately I'm thinking, okay, it's done now for me, you know, because obviously they've got these huge lights and they've got eyes and they're gonna see. So there was already another girl that went in because I think I was just taking so long. So then I went back in after she was done, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, the ladies' bathroom is really full. I think there's a conference. They're like, no, it's fine. Just stand there quickly by the wall. Then I stood by the wall and they were like, okay, now turn around. And then I turned around and they were like, okay, thank you. That'll be all. And then I was like, okay, thank you. And then I like moved immediately so that they don't get another chance to like see my legs. And then after that, they were like, oh, just fill in the city you were born. You just forgot to fill that in on your form. So I filled that in. And then I don't know if I should have done this or not, but I was like, oh, there's another block that I didn't fill in at home. I was just not sure about where I should write the details. But I have been interviewed before in 2019, and then they said, oh, really? Where? And I said, in Johannesburg. And they said, you reached this stage? And I said, yes, I did reach the stage. I didn't know if I should declare it and where I should write it. And they were like, okay, just write that there. And then the one lady asked me, she was looking at me like dead in the eye, and she was like, who was your recruiter? And I was like, my recruiter was Anita, if I'm not mistaken. And she was like, so after that, I was just punching myself because I felt like I shot myself in the foot. And I left, and Oh, sorry, I left and then I just felt like, why did I do that? Because now they're probably going to pull up all my applications and see that I was rejected before, and they're probably just going to reject me. So I was like, why on earth would I do that? So that's why I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the whole process, and I can't change it, which sucks ass so much. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. So yeah, I'm quite sad just now that I'm like talking about it. I'm just realizing that it's quite sad to have made it this far and then to like get rejected, obviously because of the things that you didn't declare, and having a big mouth and saying you've been interviewed before. So I don't know. I'll update you guys. Wish me luck, as I always say. I'll update you guys on what happens now. But it's the next day now after the final interview, and well, it's still like 9 o'clock in the morning. But they haven't said anything yet. So we'll see. So sad. Okay, guys, bye. So lo and behold, 48 hours later, we got our data bridge form, which is pretty much just you uploading your passport copy and your resume and completing some personal information. After that, I got a message to upload a picture of my birthmark, the birthmark that I showed you guys. Yeah, I knew this one was coming. It's the same one that I've received the last 3 times. So yeah. So these are the 3 pictures that I sent them. It's really not that big of a deal, but who knows. Hey guys, don't mind me. We just got our blue background emails, and it's the 6th of April. So it's about 7 days from the day we got our we did our final interview. And tomorrow is a public holiday here in South Africa, and we have to give them our blue background pictures within 48 hours. So I'm just rushing, and we don't have any electricity. So I'm waiting for the electricity so I can iron my clothes and then take pictures. I've been practicing my smile. Hopefully all goes well, and hopefully they like the pictures and they don't ask me to redo them. So wish me luck again, guys. So these are the guidelines. They didn't send this to us, but if you go on the Facebook groups, some pictures show you how your pictures should be. And this is my passport sized photo. And in the email, they didn't specify, but I just attached both because that's what we normally do. And then this is my full length photo. There was nothing wrong with these photographs. I felt like they were perfect. So yeah. Hey guys, I just thought I would update. It is the 20th of April, and exactly 2 weeks, so 14 days since I got my blue background email, and my status updated to assessment completed. It was already assessments completed, but that was straight after the final interview. So I've now sent data bridge scar pictures and blue background pictures, and today it updated to assessments completed 19 April. So it updated yesterday. It doesn't mean anything to me, but it obviously means that they've looked at my application. So we just have to wait. I haven't received any communication after that, so yeah, I'm just gonna wait. So unfortunately, after exactly 30 days 1 month, I got the regret mail. And I know it's because of my birthmark, because this is my 4th time and I always get regret mail after the birthmark picture. So, yeah, guys, unfortunately, I didn't make it. But now people have gotten their medical, some people have gotten their e-office, and some people are still waiting after the blue background pictures. Thank you for watching. Bye.